Hi, it's Dwyer. Saturday, October 8th, 2022. GamblersAdvisory.com, a free site. BettingAngle.us, a free site. Remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Now, if you're like me, and if you have exposure on the Los Angeles Dodgers, today is the day that we reduce or at least hedge that exposure. Now, you know you're dealing with professionals when a professional sports league is able to blatantly pander to gamblers, right? Coddle gamblers, and the rest of the public has no idea what's going on. Well, that's what's happening right now in baseball. Because understand, baseball is not going to reseed the playoff standings for this coming round. So what that means is that you and I know with confidence that the winner of the Padre-Met series is going to play the Dodgers in the next round of the playoffs. We know that, right? To Joe Square out in the public, he's wondering why the seedings aren't going to be redone after the first round. But you're a gambler. All you need to know is who are the Dodgers playing in the next round of the playoffs. Since you know the two teams, and since the favorite, the Mets, lost game one, you're getting outrageous odds right now. So, to win the World Series, understand the Mets, because of the loss, are going off at 14-1. If you understand that the Mets won more than 100 games this season, you realize this 14-1 is a gift. Now, don't get me wrong. First round of the playoffs are just a 3-game series. The Mets, if they lose their next game, they're going home. Huge risk. But they're offering you 14-1. If you're a Met fan, you understand this is a gift. The Mets and the phrase 14-1 haven't existed in the same sentence for months. Understand, because the Padres beat the Mets, right? They're shortened odds on the Padres, but you're getting the Padres right now at 12-1 to win it all. So if you have exposure on the Dodgers, let's say you got 4-1 or 5-1, right? Maybe even less than 4-1, depending on when you placed your bet. If it was later in the year, you need to hedge that right here by taking both the Mets and the Padres. Right, folks? You're getting 14-1 on the Mets. You need to take both the Mets and the Padres just to hedge your exposure to the Dodgers. You know they're the Dodgers' next opponent. You can believe, like me, that the Dodgers are coming out of the National League. But if you're concerned and you've been waiting for an opportunity to hedge the play, understand getting the Mets and Padres here guarantees you the winner of the next round's Dodgers series if you already have money on the Dodgers. Right? The secret here is to get enough leverage where it makes sense. I would argue that 14-1 and 12-1 are enough leverage on the other side of the Dodger play. Let's talk about some other bets I'm making. Now look, it's not that I believe that much in the Philadelphia Phillies or the Seattle Mariners. Right? These aren't the teams that I entered the playoffs hot and bothered about. But both of these teams won game one, didn't they? Folks, they're one game away from making it to the next round of the playoffs. One game away. And understand, here, you don't have to wait for the team to win it all. You don't even need the team to win it all. You're just trying to get huge odds so you can hedge. So let's say I don't believe in Philly. If they give me a big enough endowment odds-wise now, I can take them. Then in the next round of the playoffs, I can fade them. I can bet on the other side because I've received big odds. Well, Philly, one game away, one from the next round of the playoffs, is going off at 14-1, folks, on baseball futures to win it all. Seattle, 16-1. They're also one game away from the next round of the playoffs. Now, I'm not saying both or either team makes the next round of the playoffs, but understand they're going to have to lose 2 games in a row, not 2. The way baseball is you have a single point of failure. If your starting pitcher isn't on his A game, isn't this what happened to the Mets yesterday? If your starting pitcher isn't on his A game and gives up a few runs, the dynamic of the game changes. Suddenly, the favorite team is down 2-0 or 3-0. Right? Baseball has a lot more variance than some other sports. So the fact that Philly and Seattle won the first games of their playoff series, and the fact that the series are 3-game series at most. In other words, if you win the first game and you win the second game, hey, you've won the series. You need to take seriously Philadelphia at 14-1 right here, and Seattle at 16-1 right here to win it all. I believe you have to follow fortune. You have to follow actual circumstances and results. Whatever you think of the Phillies and the Mariners, they're up 1-0. Most gamblers are frowning. They hear you say the Mariners, they're like, gee, this guy's going to hitch his horse to that wagon. Okay, fine. Right? You don't have to be popular in the sports book. You just have to be the guy who, if Seattle pulls off game 2, is thinking, doggone, on to the next round of the playoffs. So, the bets I'm interested in right here after the first set of games, after yesterday's games in Major League Baseball, are the Mets 14-1, the Padres 12-1. Why? Because I have futures on the Dodgers. Because the winner of this series is going to face the Dodgers. Because I want to hedge some of my exposure on the Dodgers. Right? The other 2 teams I'm taking, the Phillies 14-1, Seattle 16-1. Look, they won game 1. They're up 1-0. If either of them wins game 2, I'm on to the next round of the playoffs. Right? Survive. Profit. I can hedge later. Understand the problem. In fact, it's not a problem. It's a benefit I would have. Later, if one of these teams makes the next round, just wins one more game in their opening series, then I'll think, wow, well, now I have Seattle at 16-1 in the second round of the playoffs. Rest assured, the other team's going to be favored. Right? Let's say the other team is favored by 2-1 or 3-1. Well, fine. I have 16-1. I can hedge the play. That's how I see it. Let me hear from you. I hope you leave your comments in the comment section of this video. Clue us in on what's caught your eye betting-wise in baseball. Thanks for stopping by.